Hi, Miss Mixie Witches. Oh boy, do I have a lot today. Today is the 8th day of the 12 days of Yule in the Nordic Germanic religious beliefs of also true, I believe. And today is Individuality. And boy, do I have a lot to say about that. But anyway, we'll see how close I come to a few things. And I'm sorry about the light, but this is the only place I got to sit and the sun comes through, which could be a good thing because you can see better. But then again, the glare, bear with me. There are my runes that I have chosen. Let's see if I could get them so you can see them a little bit better without too much of a glare. Right there. I also have an affirmation. Ew, don't know if you'll be able to see any of that. And I'll come to that later. I also have, and you'll see my shadow, sorry about that also, shadow of others. I have the king and queen of each tarot, what do you call it? The four, what the heck did I call it? Jeez, my brain is totally on fart mode. I have the King and Queen of Discs, King and Queen of Swords, King and Queen of Rods, King and Queen of Cups. Such beautiful people they are. I like his joystick. She looks peaceful. If I could get the shadow from the candle out of her face, that would be great. But, yeah. And then they kind of look strict. Anywho. And there's all my runes because they all have a part to play in individuality. I am going to start off with, right there, Ansuz, I believe it's called Ansuz, and that's God, chieftain, reference of the god Odin. And I brought that out for individuality because it has to do with your own mind, your voice within. The signals you get from others or yourself, your intuition. It's your inspiration and your vision and your own self-knowledge. It all makes you the individual person you are from other individuals. It makes you separate. There has to be a balance between togetherness and separateness. Individualizing yourself from others. And that is why I chose Ansuz. I believe that's how you say it. And it's just you being you. Because you can't be anything but you. You could try, but really, you can't. Let's see. I also chose the middle one here. That's the yew tree. I can't say these words, believe me. They're hard, but it's the yew tree rune. And that is, having perseverance. I chose it for perseverance in being yourself. Never let anybody change who you are. You have your own personal power and your own personal strength. You find your own stability knowing who you are and just being you and not worrying what other people think or think they believe or think they know about you. You are you alone and nobody knows what goes on in your head, sometimes not even yourself, It's hard to explain to people what you how do you say it? Some things are hard to explain to others, even yourself explaining it to them. It's hard to explain. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying there. And the last one is Sowilo. I believe that's how you say it. Sowilo. And that's the sun rune. And I chose that one as in wholeness. You are only you. You can only make you whole. a whole person, a whole individual from others. What you like, other people won't like. It's ugh. It is the awareness you have of yourself and your likes and your own individuality. Be aware that you can, and it's proper and it's perfectly normal to be different than other people. It's your hopes and your goals and your individual victories and your individual honor. Not everybody's honor is going to be the same as yours. Not everybody likes are going to be the same as yours. So that's why I chose those as individuality runes. Now, to go back to the men and women of the tarot decks. Let's see, I'm going to start with, and I am going off of some of what's in the book because that's what started me thinking each and every one of these. The reason why I chose them, I should say, is because everybody has differences. Even those in the tarot cards that we look for guidance and or reference or whatever reason we use tarot in our lives. Each one is an individual. Each one is separate and different. Every card in the tarot deck is, even though they have some things that are alike, they are each individual, as are people. I'm trying to get to, let's see, I'm not going to read off everything or anything like that, but I'm going to go with the King and Queen of Rods first here. Tenants, is that what they're called? You know, obviously their looks are fairly similar with the hair color and the eye color is blue. They're both blonde, blue-eyed. But there are differences in the fact that even though he's a father, she's doesn't say anything about her being a mother. And it also says that she can have red or auburn hair or green or hazel eyes. So her looks can change in her meaning of a person that might be in your life, that might pop up or is in your life, etc. If you know about tarot, you know kind of what I'm saying. But she's a nature-loving country woman. So she's a country woman who's fond of children in the home life. She loves home life. She's a homebody. She's a mother. Or just likes children a lot. You know, could be a daycare worker, whatever. She's capable of strong friendship, virtuous, honorable, chaste, warm, loving, and practical. That is her in this book that explains these cards. That is her individual characteristics. There we go. I'll get it one of these days. And of course, he's a father figure. Doesn't have to be a father, but he's married, obviously, to her. He's mature and wise, educated and intelligent. Seems that he might have gone to school, like to college or something like that, whereas she probably did not. She probably was, you know, country folks seem to be more a homebody, you know. What am I trying to say? Not saying that you're not educated, they're not educated, whatever. What I'm saying is they probably didn't have money for them to go to college. They usually stayed at home, helped out on the farm. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, his characteristics, his separate characteristics are that he's wise, educated, intelligent, full of ideas. He's very noble and loyal. He's a leader, a person with a preference for country living. So he has a preference for it. That's probably why he married her. He loves to be in the country. He loves that. So that's where he goes. That's his characteristics, which are separate than when we dig out the rest of them. And I'm trying to get this done as quickly as possible. Sorry if I'm doing that. Not being quick. But anyway, we'll move on to the King and Queen of Cups. You can see the differences, individual differences in them. She has an eye for the country, it looks like. Nature. He looks very noble. Differences in looks. He's a man with brown hair, hazel eyes. He's authoritative, responsible. He's very ambitious. One who demands respect. He's an expert in the arts, science, law, so he's very cultured also. Generous, powerful, but he also holds secrets. He's very secretive. Or you tell him secrets, he won't tell anybody. You know, he'll keep it to himself. But he can be manipulative, even though he's generous. You know, so that's one of the characteristics that are separate than, so far, the others. You know, strong intellect, reliable, mature, considerate, one who is interested in the intuitive arts. So his characteristics are his individual ones, you know, separate than the others. I'm sure you're getting the meaning I'm saying here, you know. She is usually light brown hair with hazel eyes, but she looks auburn to me there. But who knows? Sorry, my arm's just like killing me. Oh, Lord. I need to pump up my arms. Kind, generous, warm-hearted, interested in the arts. Interested, but isn't involved in. Artistically talented, so I guess maybe she is involved in her own way. So she's artistic. She likes to create art. He likes to see art, so that probably is what drew them together. Imaginative, intuitive, gentle manner, psychic gifts, attractive and romantic person, sensitive to all she sees, a perfect wife, a good mother, honest, practical, and wise. So that is her characteristic, her individual characteristics. You may have some of the same as, you know, all of them. Everybody has some of the same characteristics, but then separately, which makes us individuals. I hope I'm coming across as correct on this, because this is just my thoughts. I'm sorry. If anybody else has other thoughts, they can add to it down in the description. Holy cow. I'm on to the swords. King and Queen of Swords. Oh, I hate that shadow. I'm really... There, maybe that will help a little bit. There we go. Anyhow, they look both strong and noble to me. He is a man with dark hair, usually dark eyes, a powerful person, great determination, a man of action, authoritative, commanding, superior, a professional man with a sharp analytical mind, a judge, or a member of the legal profession, officer in the armed forces, high-ranking government official, one in a position of authority who is able to perceive the facts without emotion. So that is all his individual characteristics. Hers are dark hair, brown eyes, you know, a woman who is always on guard, a female who is wise, intelligent, intent on having her own way, so she's determined. Oops, sorry, determined. You can see their characteristics, their physical characteristics are also their own individual characteristics, as are all of them. Let's see. She's stern, determined, sharp-witted, particularly perceptive, observant, subtle. She has a little loneliness, loss, separation. She could be sad, a widow, a show of caution and aloofness caused by some hurt in the past, advice given or received. Her individual characters, obviously, are separate than others. Like I said, some are the same, are intertwined, but also what makes you an individual is what makes you separate than others. Which could be your beliefs, your schooling, your mind. The King and Queen of Discs, I have seen them before, and she's also been in a few of my past stuff. He had black hair and dark-eyed man. King is a person who found success in his vocation or business. Shrewd, sensible, well-established man. Experienced leader, chief of industry, intelligent and worldly wise. Intellectual aptitude, mathematical, scientific abilities. He's a loyal friend, one who is protective of those he loves. So even though these two look very stern, you know, in their physical looks, you know, you don't know what's going on inside somebody, which makes them individual from others. She's a woman with black hair, black eyes, cultured, intelligent, elegant woman whose interests lie in the arts and civic affairs, happily married, well-being, wealthy woman who is financially and emotionally stable, opulence, luxury, security, liberty, female benefactor, someone who donates generously to causes that interest her. So as I have read, and you have probably, you know, heard, obviously, because, hey, I'm talking, you're hearing. So anyway, as you can see, each and every person of these cards are different, same and similar in some ways, but individual in another way. Never be afraid to show your individuality, is what I'm saying. Everybody is separate and different. Even though some things are the same, they are also very different, very separate. And that is what I want to say about that. This, if I can get over here, this here is an affirmation. Let me get that out of the sun somewhat. Here we go. All right, let's get that out of the sun somewhat. There we go. There we go. There. Now I think you were able to read that, and the reason why I had a home affirmation is because many people show their individuality in the way that they run or decorate their homes, which also shows their individuality to others who come around, and that you should be at peace. Oh Lord, light. There we go. You should be at peace in your home, no matter what way you decorate it. If you cannot keep it clean constantly, if you got an overness of everything and you're trying to go through it, do not allow others to, don't take in their judgments by people going, oh my God, our house is so messy, blah, 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 blah. It's your individuality that shows, you know, and granted, your house may not be perfect, your emotions may not be perfect to other people. It's a part of you, and you need to learn to accept your individuality and not try to conform to what other people want you to be like, who feel you should be this way, you should be that way. And that is what I'm trying to state in the individuality part of this day. I'm hoping people can understand what I'm trying to say. So, now that I rambled and kind of sounded like a rant in a way, I'm going to light this candle in the name of individuality. Today, I will show my individuality, my individual likes and thoughts, and I will allow others to be individual and to show their individuality and to be proud of their individuality. I will help them in that in the best way that I know I can. So that is my thoughts on individuality. Love you guys. Have a very blessed day. Bye.